All right. Well, we're going to go ahead and kick it off. We're going to go ahead and start start on time, end on time. My name is Michael Trethart. Thank you for being here. We appreciate you guys taking the time out of your day to be here. We will make it impactful on your business. We are going to provide a educational piece at the end as an offer to you for being here. So we appreciate you guys taking the time and effort to learn more about MilRES and how you can service not only current military, but also all of the veterans that are out there. It's a group that definitely needs more attention, more focus, and elite service being provided to them. So what we have done, I have a website design team, and Jeff Kale is my business partner on that. What we have done is we have partnered with Buddy West to help him to not only enhance and improve GoMilRES.com, but to also go out and offer a new level of service that real estate agents can take advantage of, which is called.
Mhm.
I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Buddy. And Buddy, if you would, I know a lot of people already on the Zoom know you, but there's going to be some people in here that have not had the opportunity to meet you yet. Give them a little bit of your background, and then tell them a little bit about MilRES and how they can
Okay.
get their designation, and then we'll bring it back and start talking to them about Elite. But I'm going to turn it over to you. Thanks, Buddy.
Okay. Thanks for having me, and thank you all for joining. My name is Buddy West. I'm I sell real estate in Wilmington, Delaware, as well as Pennsylvania. So I'm still actively selling. 12. I created a couple other certifications. One was a senior real estate specialist, the SRES, which I then sold to NAR. And I've created the certified probate specialist course, which just got launched about 4 months ago. My real love is the MilRES. Launched that 12 years ago, and it's a unique certification. It's not a NAR certification. And it never will be a NAR certification because they're not in the business of education. They're in private property rights, and I saw what happened with the SRES. So it's not written by a course writer. I traveled around the country to different post bases, you name it, I was there. And I asked them what they wanted. I didn't tell them what I wanted them to say. They said, this is what you need to do to help our military service members, veterans, and their families. After getting back, I visited with Washington. We went to the Department of Defense. We went to the Veterans Administration. We went to the Pentagon. We talked to congressmen that were, involved with the defense, and we got information from them. And then from that, we put it all together and created the military residential specialist. So it was created by the military for the military. I just put it in a format that would help realtors. The reason I did this is because realtors really have ignored, and I mean ignored, our military. They're the least served branch of our actually portion of our government, our population. A lot of people say to me, well, I don't have a base in my area. And I'm thinking, so there's 1.2 million active duty. It goes up or down, and you got 400,000 or whatever that are in reserves. But there's 23 million veterans, right? That doesn't count their families. When you put their families, like 3 people in a family, you're probably talking a market share of maybe 80 million people. And I ask you, is that big enough? Is that a big enough mark to try to pursue? And secondly, every house you're in it because they kept us free, because they're fighting to keep us free. They come home, there's a lot of homeless, they can't get in the houses. Realtors are really stepping in their way because they're telling their sellers not to take VA contracts. And the whole thing is they don't understand it. And then it leads me to Article 12 of the Code of Ethics. I know everybody is supposed to, has a license, are supposed to abide by them. Article 12, really, if I could just summarize that, what it says is if you're not competent in the niche that you're working, then you need to refer to somebody that is competent. Otherwise, there's a liability. So taking the MilRES class, we clear up these issues. We let you know the grants that are available to people, the EEMs, the anything for restructuring houses for handicap. We let you know that. We let you know that there's no limit on the purchase power from a veteran's mortgage. They changed that. We let you know little things like now, since April, the military client, they can pay for their own termite. It didn't used to be that way, but it's really a good thing to have control. We talk about families. What's available for families? If they've lost a loved one, how can we help them? So you can see how it's a little different. And believe me, there are 25, 30 classes out there on the military. It's not that we were first that matters. It's that we keep on. We're a living, breathing company. We keep adding to it. And this is why these gentlemen are here, because we said, well, we can do this. We can introduce you. We can show you how to work the military. This next step is, how do you get the military to start prospecting you?
Right.
And if you take our gold program, which is on top of just the class, you take the class, you can run with it. You'll learn enough that you can work military. If you take the gold, then you get something every month that's going to help you get a little bit better. And on top of that, aside from that, which is interesting, you are up for referrals. This past year, I've sent out 56 referrals from military that come to me, and I send them out. Now, I have no control over how they're going to be PCS'd or whatever, but if they contact me and there's an area, then I send it out to that area. And agents have made a lot of money. So that's pretty good. Well, I was at a stalemate right there. This is the best I could do. I can get the information, I can put it out, I can offer the gold program. I asked these gentlemen to come in and say, how do we take it to the next level? People that want to take the time to get the MilRES course, and if they want to take the time to join the gold, to go through with this, how can we get it so they're going to make thousands of dollars? And by the way, it's okay to do well as long as you're doing good. So
Right.
you must understand that. Okay. So then we turn it over to my friends here, and they'll tell you how they can take it to the next level. And that's with websites, that's with the promotions, everything they can do, which comes back. And by the way, anybody that's been on this seminar, and you will have the names. The MilRES course is $225. Anybody that's on here, it'll be $175. That's a $50 coupon on it. They'll have to develop the coupon for me, but we'll get $50 off on that, which is excellent. And the second thing is that you won't find in any other certification, if down the road you decide you want to update, you get to take the class free for a second time. Okay, that way you can get the updates. So with that, is that enough? You want me to turn it over to you
No,
guys?
I think that's great. And actually, what we have at the end of the session is a form that you guys are going to fill out if you're interested. And on that form, that we'll be able to determine if you are already MilRES certified or if you are not. And then, of course, we'll know which starting point you're going to be at. But MilRES designation, of course, is the jump off point for everyone. Now, what that's going to lead to is going to be the elite services that we are providing via MilRES. I'm going to turn it over to Jeff here in just a moment. I want to introduce you to my business partner, Jeff Kale. And Jeff has worked for a large retailer as director of information services for years and years and years. He was very involved with this company, which is Petco, in terms of their internet and online sales. You know, as that was all just beginning and evolving, he was at the forefront of that, and he helped to create one of the pillars of the company's continued success. And it's, you know, the core that he created, they're still using today. And Petco in 2022 grew their sales by 4% from 6.04 billion to 6.04 billion from 5.81 in 2021. So the core element that he's put in place, they're still using. And the great part about this is a core element that has been brought over into the real estate world. So when Jeff came over into real estate, talk about perfect timing. It was 2008 and it was California. And I think we all know what happened in 8, 9, and 10, especially in California. It was a very difficult time. But what he was able to do was not only just survive, but thrive in the real estate market in California, mainly because he leaned in on the military opportunity that was there to help not only the current military, but all the veterans. And he created usmchomes.com. And that was one of the sites where he was able to go out and help to service the military back in 2008, 9, and 10. Later years in working with Keller Williams, he started to focus on his profit share. Then in 2021, he became one of the top 10 stakeholders in profit share. And that was, again, all done through online efforts, online search engine optimization, lead generation, lead capture. So his expertise, our team expertise, is helping you to improve your online presence and making sure that you're not just having a pretty website, but a site that's actually going to go out and generate leads for you. And a lot of what we are going to be talking about today and a lot of what we do and provide to all of our clients, it's 100% organic lead generation. We are not a pay-per-click type of company or mindset. I like to tell my classes, I like the free stuff and I like the easy stuff because I'm cheap and I'm lazy. Can I get an amen? Right? I mean, I want the free stuff, right? I don't want to sit there and buy leads. And so that's what we focus on is all of the organic lead generation. Now, Jeff has gone out and obtained 6 content marketing and lead generation certifications throughout the years. He is an expert in this field. I'm grateful to have him as my business partner in leading my website design team because he's been such a tremendous asset. But something that's kind of fun, and I mentioned this in a lot of my classes as well too, because of his efforts, he's been able to move to Hawaii on a permanent basis and generate the leads still in California, collect the leads from Waikiki Beach, and then farm those out to agents that he knows, likes, and trusts, and then later collects the check from Waikiki Beach. So pretty good business plan. I'm not complaining on that one. But at this point, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to turn it over to Jeff. I'm going to stop the share on my end. And Jeff, I'm going to give you the ability to share.
It's not letting me share. It says disabled. So
hold on. You should be a host, but we'll make you a co-host again. There we go. You're a host. Should have it.
Okay, try this here.
There we go. That's coming up.
Get rid of that. All right. Can you see my presentation okay?
Yes.
All righty. All right. Welcome, everyone. It's good to be here. Thank you for the intro, Michael. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go through what I did and what I currently do to generate leads on the internet. Quick story here. Michael mentioned I worked for Petco. I worked for Petco for just short of 10 years, during the .com era. And it was a great job. I mean, I loved working there. One day, Petco decided to buy the naming rights to Petco Park here in San Diego, California. They bought the naming rights and they needed a lot of cash. So I walked in one day, my boss says, "Hey, Jeff, we need to talk." He called me in the office. Much to my surprise, I was laid off. I was in shock. I was there almost 10 years, right? I'm laid off along with 60 other people. They outsourced their entire IT department. And this was a real awakening for me. And it lit a fire underneath me because I made a promise to myself that I would never want to go back and work for an employer, right? A traditional employer ever again. And so I had a friend, he came to me, my friend worked for Keller Williams. He said, "Hey, I think you'd be good in real estate. Why don't you get into real estate?" I signed up with Keller Williams and I knew nothing about real estate. I knew about IT, but I didn't know about real estate. So my team leader said, "Jeff, if you want to be successful, you got to do cold calling." Now, there's nothing wrong with cold calling, but I don't know about you. I don't particularly care for it. My team leader said, "Jeff, I want you to go knock on 200 doors in the neighborhood." I went with a woman also in my office who was new. We knocked 200 doors one time. And I got to tell you, it was the worst thing I ever did. I hated every moment of it. I couldn't stand it. I had the door slammed on my face. I don't know if I hear an amen. Some of your door knockers out there, door slammed on my face. People yelling at me. They let their dogs out on me. And I made the decision, well, I'm never going to door knock again. Now, as I say that, I want to let you know that old school real estate still works. I'm just kind of joking about this. It wasn't for me. It does work. If you're a door knocker and you're doing that, or if you're calling, doing cold calling, that works for you, great. For me, I had to make a decision because I really didn't like that. I didn't want to stay in real estate and continue to do that. So that's 2008. Everyone is getting out of the business, right? 2008, 2009, you couldn't even get a loan. I forgot what interest rates were. They were super high. But I got to tell you, I looked around my office and I wanted to see who was doing business, which, by the way, was almost no one was doing business. I'm talking about people who had been in the business for a while, like no one was doing business. And I noticed one thing in common. Everyone said the same thing. They said, my website is dead. By the way, they still say it. I don't get any leads for my website. And I'm going to drop some bombs on you here. Doesn't matter which brokerage you're with. Most brokerage websites do not generate leads. They're calling card sites. So I made the decision to invest in my own technology. And that's when I got my own website. I actually had two websites. I had a website for my regular business, and then I started usmchomes.com here in San Diego. And I thought, well, I'm going to go after the military. Okay. So I go after the military. I'm starting to get clients in. Every single offer was rejected. Seriously. What I learned was nobody knew anything about a VA loan. The listing agent, I was representing, by the way, mostly buyers at the time. The listing agents wouldn't want a VA loan because they didn't understand it. How's it going to close? All that kind of stuff. So I made it my business to learn everything I could about the VA loan process. I learned the terminology, and I started to get my offers accepted. And I'm going to tell you something that really lit a fire underneath me. When I was working with the military, I started looking at their pay stubs, and I noticed on there was some combat pay. I forgot I think they called it combat pay, some terminology. And I looked at it. I'm going to tell you guys, it wasn't much. And I thought, wow, these people are serving. They're having bullets fired at them. They're, serving in combat, and they can't buy a house. And so that really got me going. And I learned how to get, seriously, I could get almost any offer accepted. And my business grew. I sold 17 homes my first year, not knowing anything in real estate, in the worst market in recent history. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over my exact strategy, what I did in the past, but also what I'm currently doing, and I'm going to apply it to military. So let me go ahead, and we're going to go into a whiteboard. Can you see my whiteboard okay?
Yes.
Military lead funnel?
Yep.
Okay. So this is the lead funnel. I'm sure you guys have heard about a lead funnel. I'm going to apply this to military. So you have all, oops, what? Hold on one second there. Okay. So you have all your military branches, right? And how do you get those folks into your funnel? And there's many different ways to do that. That's what I'm going to reveal to you in the next slide. But what you want to do is you want to generate awareness, right, that you even exist. And we're talking about all on the internet primarily. And so some of the ways that you can do that are right here. And this is the first level. You got to let them know you exist. Okay. Now, by having a strong military presence, it gave me credibility. I didn't have any transactions when I first started. I was terrified that someone was going to say, well, how many sales have you had in the past 12 months? Oh, none or one, right? So with the military website, it gave me credibility. It had all kinds of information and resources right on my website. And so when you're attracting your military clients, you want to take a stranger who knows nothing about your business and turn them into a visitor. And then here's some of the ways to do that, right? You have press releases, blog posts, social media, on and on and on. I'm not going to mention each one. The second level, which is super important, is you need to be able to convert the lead. And when I'm talking about converting the lead, I'm not talking about you doing anything. I'm talking about your message doing something to convert the lead. Yeah, I'm going to drop another bomb on you here. And again, I'm very passionate about this. I look at everyone's stuff. I've seen every major brokerage website. This is part of what I do. I know who's got what. Multi-billion-dollar companies are missing the boat. Well, they're missing it on the top level, but on the lead conversion, oh my gosh. I have almost no hair. You want to know why? Because I see what these guys do. We're talking, I'm tempted to mention names, but I won't. It's pretty much everyone. All the big box brokerages, they're awful at lead conversion. And so what happens is if you use your existing website and you generate awareness, And so you get someone to your site. Oh my gosh, I got someone to my site, and then they end up leaving. You just wasted your time. So this is super important. And one of the things that you can use, well, I'm just going to tell you right here, you should be using a lead magnet. And there's lots of, sorry about that. There's lots of lead magnets that you can use, but give someone a reason for them to want to give you their info. Okay. So then we get to the nurture or closing stage. When you get a lead and you've got their phone number, ready? You pick up the phone. Forget the tech, right? Pick up the phone and start a conversation. All of this that we're talking about with internet lead generation is about simply starting the conversation. Then you can put them into your CRM. Once you build an established base of clients, then you can get into maintaining loyalty. All right. So let me reveal the blueprint. Okay, so this is my blueprint for success. Number one, you've got to have a home base. And your home base for military, if you want to go all in, is to do a military-focused website with military lingo, military information, and resources. From that website, you want to blog. Okay. Now, I know you've heard about blogging, right? Everyone's heard about it. Oh, I blog, or hold on, you ready for this one? This is what I'm seeing lately. You got some services that are blogging for you. There's a lot of them. I'm just going to let you in on something, guys. The services that are blogging for you, and I'm not going to say anything bad about them, they're just filler. I'm just going to tell you, you're really not going to get any substantial business from it. It's more of a branding message that's going out. What you want to do is place strategic information on your blogs. You can leverage this out. It's not hard to do. And by doing so, you can end up on page one of Google, which I will show you an example in just a couple minutes. This is really, really powerful. The reason you're not getting anything from your brokerage website is because you don't have a specific site focused and you're not blogging. Okay.
If you use those companies, that are providing that service, it's just spam, which is a very appropriate term for military, right? It's not the actual spam, but it's spam that's not going to do you any good. And what you have to do is create that, that unique original content, which can be done easier in today's world with Chat GPT, but you can't just go in and copy and paste from Chat GPT. You can create the content in Chat GPT and then modify it before you put it onto your site. And that's part of the services and the training that we can help you with and provide some information with. I just wanted to share that part, but Jeff, go ahead and continue.
Yeah, no, I'm glad you said that, Michael, because see, the way I have been blogging, first of all, I don't write anything when I blog, just to let you guys know. I do use services and I restructure the blog content slightly. And guess what now? You don't have to write it. Just like Michael said, you don't even have to write anything anymore. You can, if you, by the way, there's a technique to using Chat GPT for blogging, which, by the way, I don't see many people teaching that, but you don't have to write anything at all. You just simply place it on your website. Okay. Now, so blogging is going to help you be found on Google. You want to use YouTube because it will help you be found on Google. You want to use Google Maps, okay? And you definitely want to integrate it with your Google business page. I circled those in red because the more Google products you use, the better it will help you achieve page one of Google for free, which is extremely valuable. So those are all important platforms to use. In addition, with your blog content, you want to share links absolutely all over, okay? And this is super important. You want to share a link back to your website. And so what you're doing is, think of this like fishing, and these are little fishing hooks, okay? I moved from California to Hawaii 2 years ago. Out here in California, I go to the pier and I see a guy with one pole in the water. He's got one pole. Occasionally see a guy with two poles. And when I went to Hawaii, oh my God, I even took a picture of it. I don't have it here today, but I see like guys on the beach and they got like 10, 12 poles. Who do you think is going to catch more fish? The guy with more poles in the water, right? With more lines in the water. So you create your content here, you share it, and it's linking back to your website. And by having an effective call to action, what ends up happening is one of three things: phone call, email, or text. And that's when you do the lead conversion. And then, of course, you can put it into your CRM, and you should, so you can follow up with them. Okay. Now, press releases are super important. Lead magnets, right? And a lead magnet is an item of value for free. And this is where the big companies are missing the boat. I see it.
And by the way, if you take the MilRES course, we've already written 2 press releases, one coming from you as a new MilRES agent, one coming from your broker.
There you go. Okay. Live events. So I was bringing people into the office. I actually had first-time home buyer seminars and all that. And I had people come into the office. They would come to me. Now, we didn't have Zoom back then. Now you have Zoom, right? So you can do these virtually as well. So there's so many ways to generate business. It just, this is a great way to do things. So let me show you an example. Let me switch gears here. All right. So if you do what I just described, this is what you can do. Okay. This is one of my websites. And if you look at the top portion, this is my search term in Hawaii: save your Hawaii home. And then just below that, it says about 227 million results. Those are 227,000 competitors. And by the way, those aren't websites, but those are search terms competing for page 1 of Google for free. And I'm in the very first position right here. Didn't cost me a darn thing. Okay. So that's one example in San Diego, in Hawaii. In San Diego, I just started doing this in a very big way. Also, I'm going to tell you my experience with this. When you use a brokerage website, okay, so my brokerage, they had one platform, they dumped it, they got another, they dumped it, they just kept changing technologies. Bad. I was on page 1, and then all of a sudden I lost it and had to start all over again. You don't want to go down that path. So I started picking off every city. This is Carlsbad, city of Carlsbad. And you'll see the same thing on all my search terms. You'll see Zillow, Redfin, Realtor, and me. There's very rarely ever a real estate agent there because they're using their brokerage website.
Brokerage websites, I'm going to be blunt, honest, they do not rank. Right?
Yeah, they don't.
It's a filler site for you just to say that you have a website, but to expect anything from a lead generation point of view to occur from that broker provided website, it's not going to happen ever.
Yeah. And by the way, I learned that not only that, even with MilRES, if you're going to be independent and be successful with the niche, you have got to be the independent person that's marketing your niche.
Absolutely.
Simple as that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly. And so just to kind of tag on with what Michael said, a brokerage website, that's a calling card site, right? Yeah. Now you can get leads to a calling card site through social media and all that, but you're not going to get it organically. So, right. So in any case, so I had people challenge me a number of times. I had one guy in Texas, when I started recruiting, he tells me, well, I told him, I go, dude, this is how guys talk sometimes. I go, dude, I'm going to end up on page 1 of Google for Austin for real estate careers. And he laughed at me. He goes, how are you going to beat Keller Williams? That's their territory. Nobody knew me in Keller Williams Austin. Everybody began to know me because I achieved page 1 of Google for free when everyone else was paying for it. I sent them more leads than they know what to do with, which netted me 74 recruits in 9 months. And I never spent a dime on advertising. The second one, someone told me, and I heard this on a lot of the Facebook groups, is you can't compete with Zillow. Now, obviously, we can't compete with Zillow in, like head to head, but I'm going to tell you what, I can compete on Zillow's search term. This is Zillow. And by the way, I'm not giving you my exact search term in case there's someone in San Diego. This is very valuable to me. But here I am with Zillow on their search term, and I'm right there with them. And I've done this pretty much anywhere that I want to do it, anywhere in the country. All right. So the blueprint, you guys see it. It can be overwhelming when you look at it. It's like, oh my gosh, how am I going to do all this? We have the elite program, which is getting ready to launch. And that is tied in with MilRES. And here's what it includes. So the elite program will have an advanced MilRES website system. And when I say system, there's a front end, consumer facing front end, but there's also a back end. You'll have access to all of Buddy West's MilRES training. So right from the back end of the system, you will get advanced lead generation training from Michael, myself, Jordan, and our team. You'll have monthly email content, monthly postcards, video content, and scripts. Okay, let me just touch on the video content. If you are not doing, I'm just going to say it, Facebook Reels. Oh my gosh, guys, video, do more video, more video. But I got to tell you, Facebook and Instagram Reels are hot. I can't stand making them because, they're just, I mean, you just can't see much. You're showing a house, right? It's like that. I'd much rather do it this way. But when you make the Reels and live videos like this, and you do enough of it, it's crazy how many people see it. The reason that it's so popular, and by the way, YouTube Shorts, the same thing. The reason it's so popular is because Facebook is running scared because of all the competition. So when you make a reel, boy, they just prioritize that traffic. Your social media posts, we help you with that. We give you content. You'll get press releases, as Buddy mentioned. Lead magnets are super important, an item of value, so people can click that they want to give you their name and information because they want your lead magnet. You'll have back-end on-demand training portal, a referral system. I got to tell you guys something. When I started doing this in 2008, 2009, I didn't have any referral partners. I was just calling around and, looking for a KW agent that had some military training. With the MilRES program, there's a whole referral program. You're in San Diego, North Carolina, you have referral partners, so you can refer back and forth. So this is very, very important. You also have access to a private Facebook group for MilRES. You can share your success stories, and there will also be training and text and instant messaging content, and there's more to come. So all of this is available. Do we want to take any questions at this point, Michael? Or we have any questions?
I'm kind of monitoring the chat, and I'm glad you said that because I literally just typed questions, asked them. But there were some good questions that came in. We want to clarify a couple points. So the MilRES Elite website system, that is not a brokerage site. These are agent-owned websites. These are yours. And so you can go out and get your own domain name, whatever you would like, and then we help you to get that set up for your MilRES specific military site. And just like what Jeff was showing you earlier, where he's got certain sites such as Save My Hawaii Home, that phrase is pulling up one of his individual sites. The same thing can occur with your military site because it is an agent-owned website. We handle the hosting, we handle the security updates and everything else like that, but it literally is your site. And then you're also are going to gain access to all of the MilRES training that Buddy provides, the referral system as well. That's part of the MilRES Elite. It's also part of the Gold platform as well. So everybody's going to get all of that. The advanced lead generation training, what you're going to have on that is you'll have a back office of training where you can find all of these resources. And then monthly, we're going to go in and provide different types of lead generation training. Like 1 month, it'll be Buddy going in and talking about certain scripts that he uses within the military world, talking to buyers, talking to potential sellers. I'll go in, talk a little bit about Google and some other topics. Same thing from Jeff, and then also Jordan from our design side as well too. And
I'd like to
go ahead, buddy.
address James.
Yeah.
I'd like to address James Nellis. Hey, James, glad to have you here. He was asking about the referral map. How the referrals work is very simple so far, and this is going to take it to another level, which is why I got these guys here. Yeah, if you join the Gold program, then you are in a referral queue. And that just means if something comes to me, because I advertise in military publications and all, I'm trying to get people to get a hold of me, and they do. As a matter of fact, 56 times last year. And then I refer it to the area there that you're in. Now, what I do is I refer to the first 5 that are in your area, and whoever gets back to me, then they'll get the referral. Secondly, when you do get the referral, you may not be able to keep it because I check with that person. I reserve the right to check with that military person to see if the referral is actually, if the agent's working with. If they're not, I take them and give them to somebody else. I don't want the military to give a referral to somebody that's just going to sit on their ass and not do anything. I'll take them back and give them to somebody.
We want proactive people. And Buddy, here's a question too I'd like for you to answer. What if they don't live in an area where there are many military families?
Well, there's no area in the country. There's no military families. There are 23 million. So if you look at them, I'll give you an example. I was just in Colorado for a conference this past week. 8.5% of their population are veterans. That doesn't count their friends, their families. So if you help somebody in the military, chances are you're going to get people from there. I sent 2 referrals to a young lady named Michelle Fisher, and she's turned that into 18 transactions. That's pretty good. And she always calls me and say, I got another one. I got another one. You just have to be committed to it and not just to be involved in it. That's the kicker.
Exactly right. And guys, I want to tag onto this as well too. You talk about a loyal niche following. You start working military, you will have the most loyal clients that you will ever have. And they will be not only loyal to you, they will become advocates for you. They share this info with other veterans that are out there.
And last one to tag on to that.
Yes.
I never served. I came out of high school at that awkward time in 1970 when everything was winding down. They were doing away with the draft, and they didn't, there's nowhere to go. So I enrolled in school instead. And by that time, life got in the way. And so I met my best friend's father was a general. And he said, what are you doing to help the military? You've helped the seniors. And I said, I never served. He said, start serving, serve now. And since then, I've taken that to heart, and I'm serving as much as I can now. I think I'm serving the military a lot more than many people that actually served in the military, because I want to make sure that they get the best services that's out there for them, that they deserve.
Right. And that's one of the reasons why we gravitated instantly to this opportunity to help launch MilRES Elite, because we knew ultimately it's not helping Buddy, it's not helping us, it's helping the military, and it's helping you to help the military. And that's what we were all about. So Jeff, tell them a little bit about the launch special, please.
So basically, we sign up for the launch special. You'll be on a waiting list. You will be the first ones to be notified. We'll have a special launch webinar. You're going to get a massive discount. You're going to be grandfathered in forever. And
as long as you stay active, wherever.
As long as you, exactly.
Forever.
So, you can scan the code, go ahead and you can go to the link below. It's probably easier just to scan the QR code, and there's no obligation. You're just going to be on the wait list, and you'll be the first to know when we have our launch date. And
guys, the reason why we're doing this is we only want the agents that are motivated to move forward to that next level.
Exactly.
Right. This is not for every agent.
What I always tell people, if they've had bacon and eggs, just remember the chicken was involved, but the pig was committed. We're looking for pigs.
Yeah, exactly. Right. I mean, Special Forces is called Special Forces. It's called Elite for a reason. It's not for everybody. Right. And so that's what we're looking for. Is we're looking for those that say, yes, I am highly motivated. I know I'm going to work this. I know I want to take this to the next level. I want to serve my veterans. I want to serve my current military. So when you guys click on that form, it's a very simple form. It's your contact info, and then we ask you one question. Are you already MilRES certified? Yes or no? We just want to know where your starting point is on that. Now, the launch will be occurring very, very soon. We got to know the numbers. We got to see how many people are interested, and then we're going to share all the details with you as to when that launch date is going to be, to where you guys can sign up, and then we'll have another launch webinar for all of you to showcase what you're getting, so you guys can see it all. Any other questions in the chat? Type those in. But go ahead, buddy.
If anybody's not MilRES, I'm going to arrange to do another Zoom call, a Zoom MilRES class. If you want to take it through Zoom. If not, there's a bunch of classes people are signing up for, and we'll let you know.
Yeah, so there's going to be something that that you guys are going to have the ability to attend via Zoom. For those, we see some of those questions coming in. There's going to be a fee for Elite. We will let you all know what that's going to be when it's time to announce the setup for it. And it's a setup fee and a monthly fee. But we feel that for the gain that you're going to achieve with all these tools and resources, it's a very minimal cost. You're going to be able to up your business to the next level in the military world.
Lastly, it's good for Canada too. I know there's a couple of people from Canada, and we've got another module we're putting together to bring everybody in from Canada.
Yes, absolutely. All right.
Yeah, and by the way,
Jeff, go ahead.
By the way, from an SEO standpoint, to rank on page 1 of Google under a military term is a lot easier than just a generic real estate website. It's so much easier.
Yep.
You know, that brings up a good point, because again, when you get into those niche search topics, that's where you battle and beat the big box realtors, real estate companies like the Zillows and the Trulias and the Redfins and things like that. Because if you go out and just do like Dallas home search, you're in for a battle with the big boys. But if you can start to go in and say, save my Dallas home, or service Dallas military real estate clients, various phrases like that, that's where you guys are going to start to really see the gains. You're going to start to see the leads that are coming in. And Thomas said, will there be a follow-up email that we can sign up for the Elite program? Yes. What I'm going to do is, everybody who registered for this session, we didn't have all of the attendees. I think we had like over 80 people register. I'm going to send out the recording, and I'm going to send an email with that registration link that you guys are going to receive as well. That will probably be going out tomorrow. Some of you heard me say this at the very beginning. Unfortunately, a very timely topic today. I have to go to a military funeral. It's a 25-year veteran, father of 5, died in a freak accident, and I've got to head to that. But and that's out of state. But I will be getting the recording to you as soon as possible, no later than tomorrow. So you'll get the recording, you'll get the link. But everybody who's here right now, you can sign up to be the first ones on that list, to be Elite. All right. Any other questions? What did we miss, buddy? What did we miss, Jeff? Anything that you guys have as we wrap up?
I think that the only thing I like to do in a comment is this. There's a lot of, like I said before, there's a lot of classes out there. I'm doing everything I can to make sure that we can offer you the best possible solutions for you to get more military clients. There's a lot of money to be made in military clients. This is a fraction of the money you're going to put in that's going to come back to you 10 or 20 fold. Yeah. Don't pass it up. This is good for you. Yeah, I'll make it on the class. You take the class, and I'll make a little bit of money, but this will make you a lot of money.
Yes.
Yeah. You know what? I'm just going to close with this. I wish Buddy's course was around when I was doing it. It wasn't. I had to fumble around and figure it out on my own. So this is really, really a good thing. So.
Yes. And Valerie just said, how do we take the classes? Valerie, if you fill in that form, which you may have already done so, there's a question on there that says, are you MilRES certified or are you not? And if you are not, then we're going to get that segment of the list to Buddy, and he's going to reach out to you with opportunities on how to take the MilRES session.
And by the way, if you're on the call, if you can think of 2 or 3 other people that could benefit from this, please reach out to me and we'll contact them to do another call, much like this.
Okay. And then Kelly just said, should I go gold if I'm going to do elite? Can I
Oh yeah,
go from MilRES
Oh,
straight to elite?
the gold program pretty much puts you in queue for referrals. All right. The elite program is going to put you in queue for yourself to get a lot of referrals as well. But then you're also going to get something monthly from us, like a post. Right now, we're doing a postcard system that you can send out that's to your database. You can do it electronically or send it by snail mail. And when it goes out there, it's going to say, this is why to use a MilRES agent. So we keep on coming up with all this stuff to put on there. So yeah, it's different.
So I think
And
gold,
$15 a month.
yeah, gold, you get your pin, you get your referral map, you get your referral opportunity. But with elite, you get all of that plus everything else, right? That we just shared. The websites primarily, the monthly marketing pieces. Here's another good question, buddy. If you are a team with your family members, do they all need to be certified?
If you're the head of a team, which we call a rainmaker, you get to be the rainmaker, and then we do discounts for people underneath it as far as if they want to have access to everything. And
Okay.
the discount is dramatic. And we've had some teams that have been in there and they've been very happy.
Okay. And Gina St. James says, buddy, when can you come back out to Colorado? So reach back out to her.
I will be coming back out to Colorado. I'll be doing a couple classes, one in Dallas coming up. We've got some really nice stuff on the horizon. Mike Reed from Colorado, who recorded all the Star Power stuff, just recorded my class. We're going to put it online with 8 or 9 modules. So as soon as that happens, then everybody can take it online. I'd rather have people in the class because the dynamics are way different.
Okay. Another question here: Will we be giving military members discounts on our commissions?
That's entirely up to you. I certainly can't talk about commissions. I know a lot of people around the country say if you deal with me that they'll give a 5% commission or something like that. What's better than that is going out to all your people, your mortgage people, your attorneys, your title companies, your home inspectors, anybody in your little program. I have a military services division, and these are the people that I say, if you have something, this is what I want you to do, and they have to give a discount on their services. Otherwise, I don't put them on the program.
I have a suggestion on someone asking for a commission reduction. First of all, I never did it, but what I did do for military was I gave money back to a military organization of proceeds from every sale.
There you go.
So you could do something like that and just let them know. I get back to
be careful with that too, and I'm going to tell you why. Go to the IRS and check their site. If you look at some of the stuff that you're seeing on TV and all this, and I'm not going to mention any names, Wounded Warriors, Tunnelston, whatever, but see how much out of every dollar actually goes to the program. And that's important. I mean, there's hero dogs. There's all sorts of neat things. Dogs are providing for soldiers and sailors and everything with post-traumatic stress. They're putting like 92 cents out of every dollar into the program. That's a good thing. Threads for vets, old suits and all sorts of stuff. You'll get that. That's on the gold program. We keep on taking one of the month, and we'll just determine what we can say about that particular check.
Yeah, there's a lot of organizations out there that when you start to do your due diligence on it, you realize that 97 cents out of every dollar goes to administration fees. They they only put 3 cents back to the actual people. I'll tag on to what Buddy just gave you, the threads for vets and the other ones. Another really good one out there is Freedom 13. It's new.
Yes.
And it's for the 13 soldiers that were killed in the gates in Afghanistan during the during the evacuation. Freedom 13, they are going to donate the money to then go and buy land for veterans to go out and hunt and camp and just kind of get out into wilderness. And then they're going to have veterans basically managing that land. And their goal is to get 1,000 acres in each of the 50 states for veterans to go out and use these.
Well, not in Delaware. We don't have 1,000 acres. But,
yeah. I mean, well, they're going to have a pass for Pennsylvania for Delaware.
Yeah.
So, all right. Now, and Kelly mentioned too, I'm going to be at Savannah. I'm going to be at the Georgia Association of Realtors next month. So looking forward to that. So Buddy's out on the road. I'm out on the road doing my training. We appreciate
I'm in Georgia. I'm at the same event.
There you go. There you go.
Yep.
So we appreciate you guys taking the time out of your busy day to be here because, again, ultimately it's for you, but it's also for the veterans, right? It's for the military, and I think that's a higher calling. And the fact that you guys took the time and effort to be here today and also sign up for the launch special says a lot, and it says a lot to our military. And I
Appreciate
it. Yeah, absolutely. All right, so we will send this out to everyone, and we will send the recording. Buddy, thank you for putting this whole program together. Jeff, thank you for your presentation, and Jordan for designing the whole platform and making sure that this is going to be a wonderful opportunity for all these real estate agents who take advantage of it. All right, guys, we appreciate you being here. Everyone have a great day, and we will see you next time. Thank you.
Bye, everyone.